once you pay, I'm going to finish. Don't trust them. Hey guys, so I'm back with another, a life update. This is part 3 of life update because a lot has happened. I've left you guys for 9 solid months, and I hope you enjoyed the story time. I don't know if I'm good at storytelling, but here we go. So mom passed, my divorce is finalized. I'm looking for a place. I'm between a rock and a hard place because my rent is expiring in January and my mom's funeral was just in October. I'm starting a new job which is not close to work in November. I was between a rock and a hard place. So like I said in the previous video, so again, if you haven't watched the 2 other parts, please do well to go watch them. And so because of that, my dad and I were like active. And if you know my dad, you know that he's a walker. Like we could walk looking for places, and I wanted to be close to my dad. If you watch my finally video, you would see that was what I said. I wanted to be closer to my dad and closer to my nieces and nephews. So the house had to be around where my dad lived. So we started walking because that's the area I grew up. So I thought walking around would be better than an agent. Unfortunately not. So I ended up with an agent, and then they found me a place. So I came to that place. I looked at it. First of all, the place was downstairs, and I have trauma from being robbed like twice in 2020 when I moved to Ashoman Estate, and my apartment was ground floor. The place is like people lived there before they left, and so the place wasn't all that neat, and the landlord didn't look like he was going to clean it up. It's like he was waiting for you to come and clean it yourself, sort of. So I said no, and my dad said because I'm going to live alone, downstairs is not a security, also because of what I had already gone through in downstairs apartments. So we looked up and we saw that the man was erecting one on top of the building that the agent took me to see. So I went and I said, so go check my Instagram, but I may post snippets of it on here. I looked at it, my dad said, well, so we went to the landlord. We said, what about the one above it? What are your plans? And he said, oh, once you pay, I'm going to finish. Don't trust them. As a matter of fact, I repeat, do not pay a landlord when they tell you when you pay they will finish whatever they have to do. Nope, they are not the people with houses. I know it can be very tedious looking for a house and finally getting what you like, and then they giving you excuses, and you feel like once you give them the money they are going to be committed to finishing what they said they'll finish. It's a goddamn lie. It's a goddamn lie. So this man was on my neck like, oh, once you pay me I'm going to do it, I'm going to finish it up for you. And I'm like, at this point I was not going to bury my mother, okay, and because I was starting a new job I didn't want to be late during my probation and all that. So we started looking whilst we were even grieving. That's when we were looking. So our heads, both of my dad's head and my head was not in the right place. So let's keep that in mind. So because somebody might be saying your dad should have known better or stuff like that, but honestly our mind was not in the right place at all. And so my dad looked at the place and he said, now we don't have time, because after this week we are going to the village to prepare for the funeral. When you come back from the funeral you have like a week to start your new job. You need to be closer. So if the man has promised to finish it in a month, then I think you should take it. So my smart mind, I was like, I'm not going to give you the full payment, I'm going to give you half of it. Then when I return, because I'm even going to use the rest of the money to even bury my mother, so when I return I'll add the half when I move in. It's period. Like I'm not a thief, I won't lie to you. So even for me to prove that I'm not lying and I really want the place to be completed, I contacted an agency that pays rent for you and then you pay them monthly. So I contacted them just so that he knows that I'm bringing a third person in it. That shows my commitment. So they paid the half of the rent for me, and this was around 25,000. So they paid them the money, and besides, like, they told me it's 3 working days after I applied. This man called them and called them and called them until they made it 24 hours, because they know I'm HR, I'm going to speak about them, I'm a content creator. So they bypassed their policy and they did 24-hour payments. They paid this man the 25,000 plus Tell me why I go bury my mother, I come back in October, I come back and the house is the way you guys saw it on Instagram and you are seeing it now. Like, that is where the house is. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I kept calling this man. What's the issue? Do you need money? What are you doing? Like, what is wrong? Like, I am actually on thin ice. Like, I really need this place as soon as possible. This man is like, I will do it, I'll finish it. And he started getting frustrated at me. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to do this with you because you're an old man. I'm too stressed for this hassle. Just give me back the money. Let me go and find another place. This man said, for the way, I don't have the money. I used the money to plaster the building. I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry. You plastered the building for 25,000 plus. Anyway, so when are you finishing? Oh, give me another month. Give me out to November. So I had to be using church from my old place to work every single day for the whole month, and I had to be at work at 8. So like, I was under intense stress because I couldn't grieve my mother because I am starting a new job. I couldn't grieve, and I had to keep my head high, and my rent is slowly creeping, and I don't know what to do, and this house is as it is. So I gave this man time. November ending came, he called me, oh, can I give him up to the middle of December? I'm like, are you lying to me? Do you want this to be a court case? Because now I am a pro at going to court. Do you want this to be a court case, or you actually do what you say you will do? So this is how this man started getting angry at me, telling me his mind. And at this point, the rent people are already starting deducting from my salary at source. Who is stronger? I won't give it to you stronger than I'm collecting. Do you understand? So I gave him respect and I let the issue lie. And then I said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. God and his staff, they comfort me. He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. I said my prayer. I believed every single word of that prayer. Psalm 23 had never been real for me until that day. And then I just took my time. At that point, my money was there. I don't know if I'm going to get that money. I had some small savings somewhere. I had some money lying down somewhere. I said, okay, I'm going to build this house and I'm going to live in it until every cent I have spent in building this house has been depleted. So I called the man. I said, you know what? I am going to finish this place. And when I do, I will let you know the update. So I just ended conversations, chats with him, and I took it upon myself to complete the house. So that is why I didn't spend like 100 or 200,000 to build a 2-bedroom, because it was my 25 plus was already gone, and so I just had to add, or whatever I did cost me about 30,000 plus. So in total I spent close to 70k or 70k, because there are some things I've not even done. My kitchen, I don't have cabinets. I don't have cabinets. I need to do a window, regular proof window in the kitchen. I need to tile the stairs. So there are so many things I need to do. Some screening before the rainy season. Otherwise, everything I've done at the top here is a waste. So yeah, close to 70,000 is what I spent in getting this place, and I'm going to live here 3 years plus until ever Santos delayed it. Okay, so that is how I was able to build this place. I have learned something about building, and I'm so proud because I pulled this off in a month, guys. I built this in a month. I finished this in a month. Like, my artisans were on that. Meanwhile, I was at work, calling, sending money. Ooh, so beautiful. And it was so worth it because I love my space. I love everything I chose for the place, the color, the tiles. I love how it came out, and I'm so grateful to God for his provision. There got to a point I was stuck. I was so stuck, and I'm not somebody who likes asking people for money, but I called 2 people and they contributed, gave me 10K, and I finished the building. Basically, help came, and after I built this, I didn't have a cedi to eat. Like this, the very day I moved in, I didn't have 50 cedis to buy food the next day. Then I called somebody and I said, I will never call you for help. I realized the person sent me money, and somebody had asked for money some time ago that didn't have, all of a sudden sent me money. And someone on Instagram, because I was selling some of my utensils because I didn't want to bring everything here, I was selling them, and then she was like, oh, she doesn't understand why I'm selling my stuff. And I was like, I've already given a lot of it to the orphanages and stuff. I still need, but I need money at least, so I need like something. Then she said, okay, cool, she understands. Then she just texted me, what's your momo? She sent me money. So the very day I was hungry, that very day, I got enough money that could last me for a month. And if that is not provision, I don't know what you want God to do for you to see that it is provision. And so I am grateful, I am thankful, and thank you to all of you for waiting, for having patience, for reaching out, for sending your condolences. I really, really do appreciate. Finally, I'm in a big space. I have never, I've lived in other people's houses with big space, but for me to have something that is mine and it's this big, I'm sitting alone in this tiny corner and I'm looking at a huge space. I'm like, what am I going to do with all of this? But God is good, and I'm going to enjoy this place as much as I can. So thank you for watching, and ask me any questions now about the house, and we'll do videos explaining that. So again, thank you for watching all 3 parts. I'll see you guys in another video.